Kulturno-umjetnički program edukativnog karaktera.
Program kulturartistik me karakter edukativ.
My name is Dejan Kožul and I come from Belgrade. Originally, I'm from Croatia, but the war during the 90s completely changed my life. Since then, I've dedicated my work as a journalist to fight against nationalists, homophobes, racists, and other exclusionary social practices. But in the beginning, there was a country called Yugoslavia, made up by Croats, Slovenians, Serbs, Bosnians, Albanians, Macedonians, Montenegrians, and of course Yugoslavs, and all of whom spoke the same language. Okay, maybe not all of them and maybe not exactly the same, but they could understand each other perfectly. They had never won World Cup in football, but Red Star was a European and world champion. They also had Ivo Andrić, the Nobel Prize Award winner. They had Dušan Vukotić, the only Oscar Award winner. They had Nikola Tesla. This fairy tale began to dismantle, as Freud would say, with the narcissism of small differences. It ended as a horror story with more than 100,000 people killed during the wars and more than 4 million people displaced. With Yugoslavia dead, we were left with totally devastated newborn countries marked by history of wars and peripheral position in relation to Europe, the region clumsily called the Western Balkans. But even in the darkest days during the 90s, there was a parallel life happening. The life interlaced with common language, common culture, common history, even if it could be the history of wars. This life was and still is far away from the mainstream media. And this is where the KUPEK and NoFM independent internet radio fit in. NoFM web radio is the only Serbian self-organized public media built specifically on freedom of expression, youth activism, active citizenship, progressive and engaged arts and culture production. NoFM gathers individuals and formal as well as informal groups promoting values of transgression of borders and cross-border collaboration, anti-discrimination, social equality and critical thinking. NoFM Independent Internet Radio Collective sustains cultural production in the mentioned fields and transmission of two 24/7 web streams. This was an ideal platform for radio program called KUPEK, which is an acronym for
Kulturno-umjetnički program edukativnog karaktera.
Cultural and Art Program of Educational Character.
Program kulturartistik me karakter edukativ.
In more than 60 episodes, in more than 2 years, KUPEK became the platform for cultural activists from former Yugoslavia who put remarkable efforts in the socially responsible projects. During 2 hours, we discuss not just their work, but also about topics of interest regarding present regional policies, structural development and transitional issues from a critical standpoint. KUPEK is a unique radio program. Not only does it work with activists from the whole former Yugoslavia, but is also broadcast in 10 different websites, 3 from Bosnia and Herzegovina, Croatia and Serbia, and 1 from Montenegro. Soon, KUPEK will be represented in Kosovo as well. There are 6 TV episodes of KUPEK also broadcast in those 10 websites, so KUPEK is not just a radio program. Finally, KUPEK is not Yugo-nostalgic, but Yugo-futuristic. KUPEK doesn't recognize borders, it only recognizes cultural activists as a necessity for building a better and empathic society.
Ja sam vreme koje udiše, misli koje reči ne mogu da izgovore, i ništa me više ne inspiriše, sem nade da ću jednom da progovorim.
Let's paraphrase the words of Jelena Šantić, who many of you may know as the anti-war activist and the person that Freedom's Park in Berlin was dedicated to. But at the beginning, Jelena was a successful ballerina. The artist's role is to build bridges and to indicate bad things in our society. The role of KUPEK is to give a chance to this kind of artists.